I'm Julie Samako with Southern Charm Wreaths, where we make beautiful wreaths and teach you how to make and sell them. I'm also a business coach to creative entrepreneurs through my inner circle, and yeah, I've got a lot going on. I've got an Etsy shop that I sell some of my items out of, and yeah. Before we get started on our project, we're going to be making a snowy themed lantern. I want to show you the wreath that we made this month in Wreath of the Month Club. So this is the wreath. Oh my gosh, you can't even see it. It's so big. So this is like a close-up of it. It's a winter themed wreath, and look how long it just drapes, really long on the door. This is just going to be so beautiful on somebody's front door, and I am teaching you how to make it this month in our Wreath of the Month Club. That was actually training video number 2, the main event, because you get a full instructions and written supply list. But the first video that we did was this winter magnolia wreath. It's kind of squeezing in over here, running out of room. That just turned out brilliant. I'm so happy with that. So that's video number 2 in the Wreath of the Month Club. And then tomorrow, another video. So that will be the 3rd tutorial. I'm going to be doing probably a Deco Mesh Mardi Gras wreath. That'll be fun. I'm thinking I'm going to use an evergreen wreath base. Believe it or not, you can make anything out of those evergreen wreath bases. But let's get started on the tutorial. So as you come in, tell me where you're from, and have you started wrapping your presents yet? Because please tell me I'm not the only one that started. So the first thing I'm going to be using is my Chalk Couture to just jazz up the lantern a little bit. Let me move this. You probably won't get to see my face very much in this video. Here I've already started. Can you see that's the front that I've already started, and I wanted to do the back and show you how I did it. Isn't that so cute? I just love it. All right, so the first thing I want to do is just start attaching the transfers. Now, if you are new to the page and you've not heard of Chalk Couture, Chalk Couture is, they sell these transfers, and they sell the Chalkology chalk paste to apply. So we apply the transfers on. They're reusable. You can use them over and over again. You just wash them off in some water, and that's what's going on over here. These are drying, so I can use them again. And then you put them on your whatever. I put them on wood. I've put them on fabric. We've put them on glass. We've put them on plastic. Metal. So whatever you want to attach it to, you can attach it to it, and then we're going to put the chalk paste on it and then peel the transfers off. And what I like about this is it reminds me of vinyl a little bit, but without all of the work of the weeding. Does that make sense? So if you're, let me just put my, where can I put that in? Let me put this in so that you can go, if you want any information on the Chalk Couture, you could go to our website at classychalk.com. I've put that in there. All right, I'm just going to peel the backing. Before you peel your backing, you're going to want to cut these up. They come in big sheets, and you can cut them up, but you want to number them. So you want to put, like I have a 4 here and then a little 4 right there, and I have it on the same corner that I want. So when I washed it off, I have to reapply it back on to this white piece of paper, and it just makes it a lot easier matching things up. So I'm just going to go through, and you know what, since this is a new transfer and this is glass, I'm just going to put it on my shirt a little bit and get some little, lint or something. Just a little bit, just to help give it a little bit of release when I need to take it off. So I've applied it on, and I'm just going to just take my fingers and rub it. So these are not that hard because they're real small, you know, snowflakes, but they make real big ones like this. You know, so they make really big ones that you can do too. So I love that. Again, this is all at classychalk.com. And I'm just going to attach these, I think, randomly on the glass. And I'm not putting, I thought about putting words on it, but then since it's glass, I knew it was going to, don't get air bubbles. That's what I'm trying to prevent. I knew that I didn't want it would show through the glass. So I didn't want words. Does that make sense? Because if I looked through it, it would be turned around, reversed, backwards, whatever you want to call it. All right, so I've got that one on there. I think I'm going to put another large one. Let's see if these are dry. Hopefully these are dry. You buy the transfers at classychalk.com. Now, also, there are a couple of you who have joined to also be a representative of classychalk.com. So you've signed up. What they do is they pay, there's like a $99 fee, and you get, I think, 6 transfers. You get a couple of the chalk paste. You get an apron, which I'm not wearing. I should be wearing mine. You get, what else do you get? Let's see. You get a chalkboard and squeegees. So the squeegees are these things right here. So I got, in my designer kit, I got this angled squeegee, and I got one of these size squeegees. So I'll show you how to use a squeegee in just a minute. But so you get a lot in the kit. It's like a $200 kit, but you get it for half price. Plus, you get to purchase the chalk paste and everything 40% off. So it does help if you plan to use it a lot around your house, because it is fun. I'm not gonna lie, you guys, you're gonna be addicted when you start to use it. But you can use it for making Christmas gifts, or if you want to make signs to sell. Let's say you have an Etsy shop or something. So there's different ways, you know, you can use this throughout the year. They have all different kinds of transfers, not just winter. They've started to come out with the Valentine's, which I can't wait to get my hands on some of those. Let's see, I think I'm going to use some of the smaller ones. I'm thinking I want to reposition this one, so I'm just going to take it and pull it off. Now, I think that I'm going to do some small ones on the top and then the larger ones on the bottom. I don't know why. I don't know if there's really a rhyme or reason to that. And listen, you guys, I am no professional painter by any means. I'm just having fun. And then as soon as I get this last one on, I'll turn it around so you can see. Again, don't forget to write your numbers on the back, because that's a lifesaver. Can you imagine trying to match all these up without having the, you know, something written on the back of it after they've washed? All right, so here we go. This is what we have. I didn't really bother to put a lot of pressure down on the corners. Just wanted to make sure the centers are good and attached. I just felt like it'd be easier to pull off the corners if I didn't push down too hard, if that makes sense. So I could do the front. I'm thinking about maybe I'll do some the sides of this. The good thing about this, it's chalk paste. So you guys, after winter is over or the holidays, all I do is put a little Windex and wash it off. It comes right off. So I can change it up for the season. If I want to make it permanent, you know, like if it's going on a sign outside, I would put, where am I going to put these? I would put a sealant on it so that it wouldn't rub off or, you know, with the rain. All right, so now that we've got that on, like that, I'm going to use the Chalkology paste. Now the paste, it dries out relatively quickly, so we don't want to leave the top off too long. And then also, once I do one transfer, I'm going to take it off and put it in the water, because if I do the top and then do the wait to take the transfer off and do the bottom, the chalk paste will dry, because you really need a thin layer, and it will dry, and then it won't adhere as well. So when you pull the transfer off, it will pull some of the paste off. So you really want to pull these off when the paste is wet. All right, so here we go. Here we go. All right, so I got this lantern at Carolina Pottery, but they have it. Let's see if I can do this without turning so that you can see. This is the only thing. This is really big. I've seen lanterns at Hobby Lobby and Michael's. All right, so here we go. So I'm just going to take the chalk paste. I've got some on my little squeegee, and I'm just applying it. And then once I have it on there, I'm just going to scrape off the excess. Make sure I get all those little nooks and crannies. If I go over by accident, I can just wipe it off with a paper towel. And then I'm just going to peel it off. Isn't that pretty? And now I'm going to put this, actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and do one over here real quick, so I don't have to let it dry. I mean, I'm just doing a real quick one. Typically, they're going to say, you need to let it dry, you need to wash it off, or else it won't be as clear, but it'll be all right. All right, so I did this one right here. Let me zoom in just a smidge so you can see. So I did this one right here, and then I went ahead and put it over here and did one real quick too. All right, so now let's get on to the next one. So I'm just going to apply the paste. I may have to turn this. It's a little awkward because now I'm pretty sure you can't see and I can't see either. You don't want to push too hard because you don't want to break the glass on the lantern or anything. That would not be good. This is just so relaxing. So I'm going to pull this off, and then you can see it there. And I'll go ahead and put it over here too. I wasn't planning on doing two, on the same time at the same time, but you know what? Why not? Right? I plan on putting this on my hearth of my fireplace. So I'm just going to put this over here in the water. And so we've got those going on, and I'll just keep moving down. I think that would be quicker if I just do it this way. Let's see, if you have any questions, comment, and I'll try to answer them. I love the lantern too. It's really big. Perfect for in front of a fireplace, or if you want to put it on the front porch. I think I got an air bubble in this one on the side. Again, if you're interested in purchasing some of these transfers for yourself, just head over to classychalk.com. And if you want to join our team, go ahead and join. You can click the join, and remember that's the designer level, and you get your package of $200 worth of product for $99. And then you get you can start purchasing at 40% off the retail, which I love that. Let me get that off a little bit better. I don't think I'm going to be as selective on the sides. I'm just going to randomly do these on the side as I pull them off. Again, if I go off of the transfer, I can just easily wash it off. If I change my mind, mess up, what have you, it's chalk, you guys. It washes right off. Nothing's permanent until you put a sealant on it. Let's see if I can take this over here and do another side. I'll be y'all's experiment. How about that? And we'll just test it to see if it'll be just as beautiful without washing it off. If your chalk paste gets a little funky, like dried out, you can just squirt some water in it and it'll loosen it right back up, and just stir it. And then, so as you see, I'm putting it directly, the stencils directly into water. I want to wash it off as quickly as possible because I don't want the paste to clog up the mesh on the transfer. So the transfer is actually a thin mesh. It's not opened. So it's like a, you know, like screen printing, how it's got a little, you know, a mesh on it. That's what this is. And I got a little bit on the wood, no worries. Scrape off the excess. I think I forgot to sticky this one up because it's coming off hard. There we go. Cute, 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 cute. So Sue joined up under me, and I'm gonna, Sue, what that will happen is Chalk Couture is gonna send me an email, and then I will send you an email back giving you access to our private Facebook group where we teach you how to be successful with your Chalk Couture products. So this one got a little bit of an air bubble in it, but it's the side. I'm not going to sweat it. All right, so now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and put the paste back up. And now if I weren't on video with you guys, I'd be over here washing these off and getting the paint off. So to do that, you just take the transfer. You don't want to sit them in the water too long. You take that off, and then you take these, like, you know, disinfectant wipes right there, and then just wipe it. And then you just let it air dry, just like that. Just going to move these around a little bit. Okay. And so now what we could do is the garland, or the swag part of the project. Let me get all this out of the way. Okay, so this is what we have. Now, remember I said that there's going to be little areas that I got on the wood. Just going to take some water on a paper towel. Where did I see that? So right down here, we've got this little area. I'm just going to wash that off. No problem. And then there's some area right here on the, you know, where it came off the blue transfer. I'm just going to wipe that off. Where else? Up here where my messy fingers were. And so I just wanted to show you how easy this stuff comes off if you mess up. You know, I could just redo the whole thing if I wanted. Okay? All right, so now the swag. So this is what we have. It's called a swag, and I did not invent that word. So it reminds me of, you know, when you put a swag on a door, right? I found another spot I'm cleaning up. you know, a door swag or what have you. Well, this is just a mini version of it, and it's where you can take, you know, different flowers or stems and put them together and make a form of a swag. But there's also these long stems. Let's move that over here. So they have these stems that are already made. And this, so normally I would hand make a swag. I would put a long stem down here, a shorter one, and what have you, and I would work my way up to the end. I'm trying to make room so you can see. But when you have one that's already pre-made, you know, why reinvent it? So this one I purchased at Hobby Lobby. I purchased this one last year, but they had them again this year. I saw them. And so I think this is a regular one that they carry, but they had all these other kinds too. They had, you know, a rustic look, if that's what you want. All right, so I just think that this is going to be pretty draped down the side of the lantern. So that's my goal. I'm going to turn it right there so I can see what I'm doing. I wanted to drape away from the door. See how I have the door on one side and the swag on the other? That way I can open the door if I want to. Also, I'm thinking I want to add other elements. So let me get that out. All right, so we have this greenery. It's a frosty look to it. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it shimmers. And it's an evergreen, a pine, whatever you want to call it. Evergreen pine. Let's see. I'm going to take two of these off. All right, so I want one that's sort of long. See, I'm going to put it on the other end. See at the top right there? So I'm going to put that one a little longer, and then I'll have one that's going to be in front of it. And then another shorter one, and I'm going to do the same thing. So just like that. And I think I want to incorporate some of this silver. Ah, it's stuck. Put that down in here. See if I can zoom in just a tad. Now I got to remember where to keep my hand so you can see it. All right, so I've got one here. Let me get a couple more. I get this silvery stuff. I can't even remember, you guys. I get this stuff everywhere. It's all over the place right now. Well, I think some places are already getting their spring out. But I needed this for my own house. All right, so I thought, you know, I'm going to come on here and just do it on live. I think I want to also incorporate some of this down at the bottom. All right, so this is the top, if you can envision it, and this is the bottom. So in order to bring the two together to make them look like they're this one piece, I need to put some of this on the bottom. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and zip tie these together. First, let me do some gold. So the colors this year are the metallics, you know, a mixture of metallics, which is very popular right now. So we have the gold and the silver combined. I don't think that's going to be secure. All right, so we've got a couple pieces of there, and then I'm going to zip tie this together. Get my needle nose pliers out. Pull this as tight as possible. Okay, so that's bundled together, and I'll go ahead and put, I'm thinking I'm going to put one long stem of this down at the bottom. I don't want it laying on top, right? Because I want to be able to see the pine cones and the berries. So I'm just going to shove it underneath. Just like that. Let me go ahead and try to incorporate some of these a little bit more. Okay. And then we have this silver piece up at the top, right here. And I'll go ahead and add another silver piece. So this piece, I really want longer, but it's a short piece. So what I think I'm going to do is wire it onto a longer stem. If I don't have one laying around, which I keep all the time. Let's see, I think this is going to be too short. Let me see if I can find another longer stem. That's metal. Nope. Shoot. Oh well. Usually I have these things laying around everywhere, and of course when I need one I can't find one. Aha. Here is a bush that I've been picking the flowers off of, and we'll just use one of these. So this is just leftovers. Most people would throw this stuff in the trash, but no, not me. So I don't need the top part. So now what I want to do is wire this on the end. I'm going to use my bind wire for that. So now I'm going to use some florist wire and secure this together. You guys, if you enjoy these tips of the floral design, join me in my Wreath Making of the Month Club, where I go into in-depth detail about all of this. So do you see how I extended the length of this? And now I'm just going to put it down in there, and it's green, it's going to match, it'll be fine. And then I have the smaller piece. Alright, so now what I want to do is go ahead and I'm going to zip tie these together. Alright, and then I'm going to put this right here. So this is the top, okay, but I don't want to put it right beside it. I want to leave enough room for a bow. So I'm going to use my fist or my paw, my folded hand as a length of where I want to place this. Just like that. And now I'm going to get some more zip ties. Hopefully I have enough. I didn't mean to pop one. Alright, so now what we want to do is make our bow. Alright, so these are the ribbons that I incorporated in my tree. So this is where I'm going to put also in my lantern swag. I purchased all of these from Carolina Pottery. I am a ribbon fanatic. I just love ribbon. I mean, really, like most women collect shoes, I collect ribbon. And please tell me I'm not the only one. All right, so this is the ribbon. We've got several colors, okay? So we have this like a velvet, not velvet, what is this? Flannel type felt. All right, so this is a felt, and we've got this glitter, heavily glittered, and we've got a white with the silver in it, and we've got the silver glittered, and then we've got this bronze color. So that's what I'm going to use. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different colors. And then to make this, I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do one kind of long. So I'm just measuring out, just eyeballing it. Just like that. And then I'm going to pinch it in my hand. And then I measure out 12 inches, which I really can't see, so I'm just going to eyeball it. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Between my elbow and my fingers is 12 inches. And I'm just going to pinch that and then twist it. And then trim it off with a bolt. So this is the first part of the bow. And now what I want to do is the same thing. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and do the long silver. So I want to have a tail just as long. Pinch it, and then again measure out. And then twist. You're twisting just enough to where the good part of the ribbon is facing forward, the finished front. All right, so this is what we've got so far for our bow, 2 loops. And now I'm going to go in the opposite direction. I'm going to have my loop come down. So we've got about a 12-inch tail up there. I'm pinching it in to my fingers. So now that the bow has moved more towards the palm of my hand, and as I push it through there, I'm like, I pleat. It's almost pleating the ribbon. Just like that. Something looks weird about that. Hold on. Okay. And I keep pulling it up like this just to measure to make sure they're the same. Cut this off. And then I'm going to do the opposite direction with this one. So you can see where I'm going with this. Now I'm going in the opposite direction. So I'm going to move this one and turn it this way. Pleating it in my hand. Measure out the 12-inch loop. And twist it. Now, if you have arthritis or you're having a hard time holding all the ribbon at the same time, you can put it inside of one of the bodabras, this thing right here. So you can set this down in there and then leave it there and go do the next loop if you want to. So that's just a tip. And now I'm going to do the next one, and we're going to turn the ribbon in the opposite direction again. So turn it this way, measure out the 12 inches, twist, and now this is at this point I'm going to look at it and I'm going to decide. I'm thinking I want another loop, and do I want it white or do I want it gold? I'm thinking I want it white. So I'm going to go in the opposite direction of that one white. I'm going to go and have the loop come downward. Okay, and trim that off. And this is where I'm going to get some florist wire. So this is what the bow looks like right now. In my hand, we've got some long tails. I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to lift up my first finger right here, my pointer, slide the wire underneath and not let go yet, and pull it to the front, just like that. It's still secure in my hand, and I'm just positioning the wire underneath my fingers. And this is where I can fluff if I need to fluff. You know, I like to move the ribbon streamers behind all of the loops. So pull the loops to the front and position the streamers behind them. And then when I like it, I turn over the back, and then I just twist it very tightly. Turn the bow. It's getting stuck. If you turn the bow, it tightens the ribbon. I mean the wire. Right, just like that. So this is what we have. Now this is what I call my funky bow. And I've got a free video for you guys. I should put it in here. 9 ways to make a bow, and this is my funky bow. This is one of the bows that I teach you. I don't think I'm gonna have to go back in and type it later because I can't paste it in right now. So anyway, this is how it looks, and I'm going to go and use the same wire that I secured the ribbon to, and I'm going to straddle it over our zip ties, just like this. I want to move the long streamers to the back, because that's what I want to go behind the long greenery. So that's almost like behind it. And then when I put it on here, I'm just going to turn it over to the back and secure it. And then I usually twist this thing. And then I'm going to cut these short. So this is the bow wire. We've cut that short. So I want to show you what the back looks like now. So you can see the zip ties on it. What I do for that is I hot glue scrap leaves. These are like, this is a bush that I used for that magnolia wreath behind me. And so instead of throwing them away, I'm just going to use them. I'm going to hot glue them right on top of those zip ties. I'm going to use this to hold it down. Just like that. All right, so now I have these long stems. So this was the stem that came with the big long Hobby Lobby piece. What I'm going to do is cut this off with my, whatever this thing is called. It looks like a big bolt cutter. And I use this for my big, large stems like this. Let's see if I can get some grip on it. There. And then I'll probably keep this. This is another stem that I can extend another something with. All right, so this is what we have. I'm just going to fluff this up again. I can fluff it more when I get it on the lantern. So to secure it to the lantern, I'm going to use this rustic wire. Get the bolt cutters out of the way. Okay, so this is, I feel that hot glue is still hot. So we're going to put this behind the bow. The rustic wire is going behind the bow. And I'm just going to twist it on there a couple of times. Real good. I'm just going to twist this, at least try to. There. Thank you guys. Oh my gosh, we've got a lot that are still sticking with me. I thought, surely this is a long project. All right, so I'm moving the lantern a little closer, and I'm not going to attach it to the whole, the piece at the top is, I usually attach it to the whole thing, but since this one's so wide, I'm going to attach it to the handle. I think I'll have to go around the whole top to get it in the position where I want it. And I have just enough wire. All right, whew. That was a workout, you guys. Okay, now that it's on there, so you can see that it's on here, it's a little, like flying. What I want to do is position the swag to go down the side of the lantern and not just jut out to the side. So what I need to do is now bend and shape. So I'm just going to bend these pieces. And I think that's the mistake that some of the people have when they make their lantern swags using my instructions, is they don't take the time to just shape it. I'm also, as I'm shaping it, spreading everything around. And I want this ribbon to go to the back. Remember those long pieces of ribbon that we did? Those are going to go to the back and hang down. And I'm going to roll these instead of dovetail. All right, so this is what we have. All right, and then now, I think I'm going to go ahead and fold the edges of the other ribbon streamers. Just fold them under, mix them up, put some of the gold, you know, on top, in the middle of all of the white, just to give the, you know, you want all of the texture and the colors to be positioned and moved around and intermingled. Okay, and now I have this long piece right here of these white berries. I'm going to cut those off. And now I want to reposition them up at the top, coming out of the top. But before I do that, I want to bend the top as well. So we've just spread out the stuff, the greenery and stuff at the top. I'm going to go ahead and hot glue the berries that I just cut off at the bottom onto the top. So another reason you could do this is it intermingles. It brings in the elements that were on the bottom. It brings the elements to the top. Let's see if you can see that right there. It makes it look like it's a one piece instead of, you know, pieces that we've pieced together. All right, so now another thing that we can do is use our greenery right here. I'm just going to cut off little sprigs of the greenery, not long pieces. And I'm going to hot glue these throughout the bow. So this will also give the illusion of it intermingling and, you know, just, it'll look more like one piece instead of it having, you know, multiple pieces. All the glue, get the glue strings down. So you could see a little bit of what I'm talking about. So we put some greenery right here that's coming out of the bow, and we put some greenery right there, and we put some greenery right here that's coming out of the bow. And I could keep doing that, adding more greenery, you know, if you want to. So now what I want to do is I'm going to give you some ideas of what you could fill your lantern with. Of course, you could put a big old, you know, candle in it, but you would want to put one that's flameless so that it doesn't affect the heat on the swag. But I have these pine cones that are glittery. They're white. Now I probably should have put these in here before I put the swag on, but oh well. I'm going to place these inside. I could put battery operated LED lights. Ooh, they're running away. And I have some of the larger ones that aren't glittered. They're just regular pine cones. So I'm going to put those down in the bottom to build them up a little bit. Put that in there, and I've got these they're grapevine balls with the they're painted and glittery. I put those on there too. I've got these ornaments. I was looking around. I thought I had some other ornaments, but you know, you could put little ornaments down in here. I had some white ornaments somewhere. Not sure where I did it with them. And if you had, you know, some LED lights, I think that would look so pretty in here. You know, battery operated LED lights. I'm going to clean up real quick and turn it around so you can see all of the finished product. So here it is. Isn't it cute? All right, so here is, so you can see that we've got some fun ornaments and pine cones nestled inside, and it brings the color of the lantern swag. So this is going to be sitting on our hearth, which will be opposite of our tree, which has the same colors, ribbons, and ornaments inside of our tree too. So this is really, I love this. It turned out a lot better than I thought it would. And now when I'm finished with it, I can just, you know, wash off the Chalk Couture paste and redo another stencil for another holiday. I can't wait to see what I'm going to be doing for Valentine's. Won't that be fun? So here it is. We do a little bit closer up of the swag. Let's see if I can tilt it. Kind of hard to get. It's so large. I can't hardly even get the top. But you can see how the piece that we made at the top intermingles with it. And it just looks like one solid piece, doesn't it? But it's not. It's something we pieced together. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. Thanks for the hearts. And would you do a favor? This is a huge favor to me. If you could share this video, that would just be the bee's knees. That would just be like a virtual hug to me, telling me that you appreciate when I come on and do these Facebook Lives for you. If I taught you anything or inspired anything in you to do these for yourself, or to, you know, want to be crafty or anything like that, I just would love to see your creations. Please post them on the Facebook page so that I can see. I love that. That just fills my heart with joy when I see that I'm taking God's talent and sharing them with you and inspiring you to make beautiful things for your own home. And please know that you are a blessing to me, and I hope I'm a blessing to you. You guys, if I don't see you, I hope I see you next week with another Facebook Live, one or two. But if I don't, I hope you have a very Merry Christmas. I know we're all busy and you might not be on Facebook, or you might miss one of my videos. So if I don't see you again, have a very Merry Christmas and take time to enjoy your family and relax and try not to get all caught up in the chaos of it. Instead, relax. Right? Okay, so you guys have a very blessed night, and thank you again for joining me.